Hello, beautiful Earth family, and welcome to episode 2 of my new Cosmic Alignment series. I created this series to assist in starseeds, lightworkers, and all of those on a spiritual journey for integration and embodiment of the current weekly energies that we are working through. As the Earth is shifting from one dimension, from one age into another, we are going through massive shifts on an individual and a collective level. And each week, each month, each day, each now moment is filled with ripe opportunity for growth, for expansion, for liberation. And when we consciously work with the energies that are available to us, we don't expend too much energy as we do when we're in resistance to it. So having a conscious awareness of what is going on energetically from an astrological, numerological, and spiritual point of view, we take the resistance out of the picture and we are able to walk through the energies in a much more aligned and conscious manner. The universe doesn't like to waste energy. So if we can get from point A to point B in one straight line, that is much more conducive to a holistic and easy and graceful journey than it is from going and taking the long and meandering and sometimes very challenging path. So week 2, first of all, the first week of June started off with a bang. We had so much solar activity, so many solar flares. I know a lot of us were going through intense headaches, extreme purging. There was a lot of physical tension going on. There was a lot of triggering. The week was intense. And then we had the beautiful 6-6 portal, which was ripe for manifestation. And I hope that you all managed to do the ceremony that I uploaded onto my channel last week. And now we're entering into a whole new fresh week, a whole new fresh set of energies. And what is this week's theme all about? This week we go and we're starting to look at the theme of from isolation into connection. And we have Jupiter moving into Cancer, as well as Mercury, which has just entered into Cancer as well. So we have a lot of focus onto the energy of Cancer. And what does that really mean? Cancer is the sign of intuition, of emotion, of depth, of intensity, of change, of nurturing. It's the mother, it's the womb space, it's the creation. It's a water sign. And so with Jupiter moving into Cancer, Jupiter's in its exaltation in Cancer, which basically means it loves being there. And Jupiter's the sign of expansion, of luck, of success, of growth. And so when we combine those two energies together, what we get is a focus on our inner world and where we can create growth, luck, wisdom, and expansion on an inner plane. And this is really what we want to be looking at. I know a lot of us on the spiritual journey have felt deep moments of isolation and loneliness. As you move from one reality into another, it's necessary to go through the stages of isolation and aloneness, because we're changing our frequency. And in order to do that, in order to step out into the world with your new frequency, grounded and in strength and in integrity, you have to first create that within yourself. And this is primarily what the transits of Jupiter in Cancer is all about. It's about cultivating a space of strength and connectedness within first, and then going out into the world with this beautiful, expansive, grounded, nurturing, healing energy. What we want to do is not just find more people, but what we want to do is become the person that we wish to find. And I think that speaks volumes. You can easily look at the kind of people that you're wishing to draw into your life, your soul family, the people who are going to be the ones that you start community with, that you start your spiritual business with, that you're working together in creating this beautiful ripple effect of change across this planet. And in order to really attract that tribe, you first have to cultivate your vibe. And I know that's cliche, your vibe attracts your tribe, but it's absolutely true. The energies that we put out into the world are what we get back. And if you're seeing any level of disharmony, of isolation, of loneliness, of disconnection in your outer reality at the moment, then this transit with Jupiter in Cancer is a real opportunity for you to cultivate a sense of deep strength, connectedness, love, and nurturing within yourself. And then you can go out forth into the world and offer that to all of those around you, and also attract the people who are on the same frequency and vibe as yourself. So this week we're going to be focusing on the sacral chakra. This is our center of sensuality, of creativity, the inner child. It's the womb of creation. It's the place of flow and freedom. And it's most healers have a very beautiful and aligned sacral chakra, and it's the space of the divine feminine. And as we go through these ascension energies and upgrades, this is really one of the places that we start to, especially as a divine feminine, that we start to feel these energies accumulate the most. And we take it on a collective level as well. If you're a mother and you've had children, you will obviously definitely feel a lot of tension within the hip space. And this is because, where we are in our evolutionary process, giving birth on planet Earth is not always a smooth sailing experience, and trauma can happen, and we store that there on an energetic and on a cellular level. And so working with the sacral chakra is really important. Cleaning it, aligning it, attuning it, always aligning it to the highest timeline and that of the greatest good of all, but cultivating it with what it needs: creativity, flow, sensuality, dancing, fun, movement, just being in your beautiful sacred feminine self. And men have a sacral chakra as well. So it's not just for women that we need to work on this chakra. It's that we all have this beautiful balance. Your left represents your feminine and your right represents your masculine. And it's about finding that divine union within, about finding that connection space here in strength and integrity and wisdom, in connection with cosmic, universal, and your earth family. And so today we're going to go through a beautiful opening, deepening, strengthening, clearing, cleansing of this beautiful energy center. We're going to start by just cleansing it. I'm going to show you a beautiful technique that really sparkles and opens and shines out that chakra, and then move through some beautiful yogic and somatic movements that will really get you into alignment and embodiment for the week ahead, and come back to the practice as often as you need to, so that you stay in your strength, so that you stay aligned to the connections that you are wishing to cultivate in your physical reality by first cultivating them on your inner plane. And so without further ado, let's get down onto our mat and begin our practice. Coming to lie down on our backs. And I really just want you to feel your entire spine flat onto your mat. Ground and earth your heels, your feet into the floor. Take a moment to feel and see your roots growing down into the core of Gaia, connecting into our heart center, creating a stability, a connection, a love, a gratitude, appreciation. And a deep breath in and exhale. And I'm going to invite you to bring in the Ujjayi breath during this practice, and just consistently focusing on the lower abdomen, on the sacral area. So throughout this practice, it's obviously specifically designed to activate and awaken this energy center, but I want you to keep your focus and awareness here. So before we begin, we're going to do a little bit of a cleansing of our sacral chakra, and how we do this is by closing the eyes, coming into your center space, into your 0 point energy field, and finding your sacral chakra on an energetic level. It's usually within your pillar of light, and you'll see your sacral chakra just kind of below the belly button. And we're going to flow in an anti-clockwise direction and start to spin in this anti-clockwise direction, and just envisaging it cleansing and clearing itself excuse me, as you're spinning. So if there's any debris or any blockage, you might start to see it as a little layer of dust or a little bit of blackness, or maybe you even see the energetic blockage that is there, but you're just going to use your fingers and you're going to start to spin in an anti-clockwise direction. And you're going to start to spin faster and faster and faster. I can now see my wheels spinning beautifully anti-clockwise. I can see all of the dust and debris that's currently sitting on this chakra flying off. And until you start to see this beautiful orange hue glow coming out of the sacral chakra. This yellow, orangey glow. And once you see that beautiful shine, you can start to slow down your spin until it comes to a stop. And then we're going to gently start to spin it in its true direction, which is in a clockwise space. And it's generally here that I start to see like a vortex energy coming out from the chakra center. And I start to spin even faster when I see that vortex increasing, and it usually starts to flow outward in beautiful kind of echo spirals. And we spin faster and faster and faster and faster until we feel this deep alignment in with the whole. I almost feel like a click. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're just going to gently activate that chakra center. And we're going to start by bringing our knees from side to side. So really important note here, keep both shoulders flat on the mat as you take your knees over from side to side. And we're going to use our breath. So inhaling to bring the knees up and exhaling to bring the knees down, making sure that both shoulders stay flat on the mat. Activating that ujjayi breath. Activating that core, ensuring that your sacral is fully engaged. And you should start to feel a little bit of movement and flow within the spine. Some alignment happening. Just going slow and intentional as we begin to warm our bodies up and come into our practice. Don't overdo it, don't overpush it. And I want you to just take note of which hip is holding more tension as you're working through this. And as you work, I want you to send your breath directly into the hip with more tension. Allowing, consciously stating, I allow the tense and heavy energy within my left/right hip to flow and liberate from my body through my breath. I use these movements to loosen and dissolve any stagnant lower energies stuck within my hip. And just allow that energy to be liberated from your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Two more rounds here. And last one. And coming back into center. Now we're going to inhale and bring both knees into our tummy area, and just either grab directly below the knees or on top, wherever feels good for you. And we're just going to slowly start to rock from side to side. Doesn't have to be too much of a big movement. And we're just going to bring some movements, starting to draw circles with our knees on the ceiling, and then going in the other direction, keeping that sacral fully engaged, using your ujjayi breath, warrior breath, and coming back into the center. And just taking your left knee flat onto the mat, your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right hand flat down onto the floor. Inhaling over here. And on the exhale, you're going to guide your right knee over, keeping your right shoulder flat on your mat. And just start to bring a gentle twist into the spine, allowing liberation, movement, fluidity and freedom to enter into the sacral, the hip, the womb, the pelvic area. 2 deep Ujjayi breaths here. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then coming back through center, and then straightening out your right knee down, inhaling, bringing your left knee up, right hand outside of left knee, inhaling here. And on the exhale, taking that left knee over to the right side. Left hand is flat on the mat. Left shoulder is flat on the mat. And intentionally creating space, freedom, flow, and movement within the sacral pelvic womb space area. 2 deep Ujjayi breaths here. And just gently coming back through center and extending your left leg down, and then inhaling both knees up and taking your hands to the back of the knees. So we're going to begin a gentle rocking backwards and forwards. And coming all the way up, and you're going to meet me in tabletop position. So we're going to begin hands under shoulders, knees under hips, back is flat, your sacral is engaged, your core is strong, your intention is solid. Coming home to myself, feeling connection within myself. And we're going to begin with some cat and cow, and then we're going to move into some sacral hip movements and flows. So just beginning, breathing in, looking up, allow your belly to relax, and exhale, coming into cat. Inhaling. One more round. Now we're going to come into some spinal sacral twists. So you're going to move your head in the one way and your hips in the other direction. You're really just going to allow some freedom in the spine, some movement, some fluidity. Thinking about the cerebral spinal fluid just flowing gracefully, graciously, with freedom, with intention, with connection. Okay. Using your breath. There's no right or wrong here. It's about creating space, inviting creativity, inviting freedom of movements. And now you're going to go the other way. One more round. And coming back into your tabletop. Okay, we're going to come up onto our knees. We're just going to sit back onto our toes. And just take a moment here, allowing some energetic release out the back of the feet, through the toes, bringing your left hand onto your womb, your right hand onto your heart, and just taking one deep breath here. I am connected within. I am safe and held within my own body, within my own space, within my own field. And exhaling. And coming onto both knees, we're going to step forward with our left foot, making sure that both hips are facing forward, core is engaged. You're going to inhale, your arms up, bringing palms to touch, taking a deep inhale, engaging into that sacral chakra, and just allowing a beautiful liberation of energy through the right hip. Stable left foot into the ground, completely connected into the core of Gaia. Dropping your hands down and coming back into a half Hanuman, half splits, making sure that your toes are flexed back towards the face. And we're just going to flow a little bit here. So inhaling, coming forward, and exhale, coming back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. One more round. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back onto your knees. And stepping forward with the right knee, making sure both hips are facing forward, sacral and core are engaged and active. Right foot is grounded into the core of Gaia. And we're going to inhale our arms up, palms to touch. Inhaling and exhale, and just allow a beautiful deep liberation from your left hip, creating space and flow and freedom and fluidity and movement to engulf this entire area. Bringing the hands down, and we're going to come back into our half Hanuman split. And we're going to go through our flow. So inhaling and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. Last one here, inhaling and exhale. Okay. We're going to come into a low squat. We're going to turn our feet facing outwards, and we're going to do some sacral squats here. So it's quite a dynamic movement, but we're going to allow any stagnant energy to just flush out of this chakra, out of this energetic center. We're going to invite the blood to start flowing. We're going to invite intention, direction, and beauty to come back into this beautiful central space. So heels are going to remain touching. Sacral is active and engaged. And it's going to look like this. I'm going to show you quickly. It's going to be like... Okay, so inhale to come up, exhale out. Keep that core engaged. Keep those heels touching. And we're going to go 12 rounds together. And let's begin. 8, 11, last one. Beautiful. You should feel that energy just coming down. Opening up your knees nice and wide, allowing this flow, and taking a deep inhale. And on your exhale, I want you to come all the way down into your child's pose. And just feeling that energy that you've created in that center, just flushing out that whole chakra, allowing freedom, fluidity, spaciousness, sensuality, creative, inner child healing to just engulf into that space. And just allow the energy to wash over you as you breathe deeply in your child's pose. Taking 2 more deep Ujjayi breaths here. Okay. And we're going to do our last posture now, which is going to be pigeon pose. So I just want you to come up into standing, into a forward fold. Keep your feet hip distance apart. We're going to be super chill about this. Just allowing a lovely, heavy top half of the body, the head, gravitating down towards the ground. And then you're going to inhale and come up into a halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. And I want you to just gently step back into a plank. Activate that core, the sacral chakra. Take a deep inhale here. Then exhale into a downward dog. Just really be chill here as you start to allow your body to enter into this beautiful alignment posture. And inhale, lift your right leg up. And exhale. And bring your right leg down across. Feeling that left hip opening up, allowing energetic movement, fluidity, freedom, and flow. Taking a deep inhale. And then on the exhale, you can come down onto your elbows, or you can go all the way down. And you should feel this beautiful energetic opening around the right back hip and the front of the left hip. And we're just going to be here for 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. Coming back up onto your hands, stepping back with your right foot into plank, and exhale back into downward facing dog. And then inhale and lift up the left leg. On an exhale, coming through, dropping that left leg down, rolling those shoulders down and back, actively engaging in the sacral and the core, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, coming down. Breathing into the any tension you feel in your body, consciously, actively talking to that energy, that tension, allowing liberation. I give you full permission to dissolve, to liberate, to release from my body. I'm just taking 3 deep, intentional Ujjayi breaths here. Whatever feels great for you in this moment. We're just going to chant the mantra VAM, which is the sound, the seed sound of the sacral chakra, and really placing infinite emphasis on the and feeling that hum coming down into the sacral and just activating and cementing all of that energy work that we've just done in opening up the chakra center. Okay, so just dropping those shoulders down, activating the core, feeling the strength of your spine, holding you up. Left hand on higher heart, right hand on womb, and taking a deep breath in. And VAM. Vam. Last time. Vam. And in closing, I just want us to recite this affirmation to take us through the week and come back to it as often as you need whenever you're feeling triggered. Just closing your eyes, hands on heart and womb, taking a deep breath in and exhaling. I am safe in my body. In my body, I am at home. I welcome all parts of me as I return back to connectedness from within. So this week, although we have the beautiful energies of Mercury in Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer, which should feel really beautiful in comparison to last week, there still will be themes of triggering around the energies of Cancer, of nurturing, of our mother wound, and our relationships. And if we have any unresolved or distorted issues or traumas around those things, please know that it will come up. But always remember, perspective is everything, and this is your opportunity that the universe is going to give you. It's going to show you what is still out of alignment, what still needs some nurturing, some love, and bringing back into wholeness. And so work with it consciously. Invite that energy work into your life. Look at yourself when you're being triggered from a conscious perspective. Even if you lose your shit at one point, it's okay. Just always take the eagle eye perspective when you are grounded, when you're back in your regulated state, and observe yourself and give yourself grace, love yourself, nurture yourself. Remember, we're coming into a connected and integral and place of strength from within, so that can radiate from without. I wish you the most beautiful week ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Namaste.